Joining me now to discuss this and more, Queensland Senator James McGrath and One Nation Chief of Staff for Pauline Hanson, James Ashby. Well, gents, welcome. I tell you what, James McGrath, I think twice about giving that woman any oxygen. And to be honest, I'm actually more concerned about young Australians who look to her as some sort of saint protesting outside the Prime Minister's office than indeed her carry on over in Israel. What do you think?
It's sort of, I'm just so angry that this person, Greta, is getting any publicity whatsoever. Where was she when 1,200 Israelis were murdered by Hamas? What did she say then? Absolutely nothing. And where were the people who were protesting outside the Prime Minister's office after October 7th? Were they protesting about the people who were butchered by Hamas? Of course not. Greta is all about Greta and all about her ego. And if she has to sit down and be forced to watch the video of the atrocities committed by Hamas, then that is a good thing, because maybe she'll learn something out of this cruise across the Mediterranean.
And reportedly, James, that's what's said to happen. We'll see if we can get people an update on that tomorrow night. James Ashby, I know you've been talking to a lot of people inside the superannuation industry. Of course, when Parliament returns, that will be before One Nation senators to decide. What are you picking up?
Well, I had dinner with a financial advisor on Friday night, and the concerns they've got is they're being inundated with phone calls from people with superannuation plans. But the biggest problem that we see is it's not just affecting those people with the 3 million plus, it's now starting to really make people with superannuation balances of anywhere above 1.5 million start to question, have they got to slow things down because they don't want to be caught in this trap as well. I even had one person suggest to me that because they're a dual citizen, they're going to leave the country, do what backpackers do, leave, rescind their Australian citizenship so that they can pull their superannuation out and take it elsewhere. Now, this scheme that was supposedly designed to catch billionaires is not going to work. The billionaires have gone. If you talk to the high net worth individuals across this country, their money has already left the country. And so this is just going to go after those ordinary, everyday people that have tried to do the right thing, but at half time during a game, this Albanese government have said, no, we're going to move the goalposts. We're going to change the rules to this game. And for a government that has been so adamant about giving those people with disabilities a quality of life right through till their passing, they don't want a quality of life for those people in retirement any longer, because, you know, I can't tell what my future holds as I get older. Some people will require more money than others, and the mere fact that they put that money aside, they should be congratulated, not come after like they have been in the last few months. There's $4 trillion that this Labor government want to get their hands on, and they're going to start coming after those retirees. It is abysmal what this government are planning to do.
And also the precedent of unrealised gains being taxed, because once it goes on super, it'll absolutely be a cancer across all investments. James, you know a bit about campaigns. As we often say, the New South Wales Libs, they're talking about whether or not they appeal the decision in Bradfield. Giselle Captarian lost there by 26 votes to the Teal. What would be the sort of grounds that you could challenge it on?
The New South Wales Liberals will be in particular looking at, there's 170 votes that were originally declared to be informal, but following the recount, they were declared to be formal. So there'll be a focus on those 170 votes. They'll also be looking at instances of where people may have voted more than once, that you and I have discussed before, where voter ID may stop that.
Yes.
And they'll also be looking into any other mistakes that may have been made during the vote counting process. This is a very serious thing the New South Wales Liberals will be looking into, because they will have to go to the High Court, sitting as the Court of Disputed Returns, but focus will be on these 170 votes.
Now, I won't put this one to James, she's a former colleague of yours, but I tell you what, James Ashby, I thought we got rid of Bridget Archer. I know she's a Liberal, some will tell me, but I didn't see much that she did that was ever Liberal. She looks like she might make a comeback with a state tilt Tasmanian Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe, who's in more trouble than the early settlers, he's backing a pre-selection. What do you reckon? I thought we'd seen the back of her, but she might come back.
Yeah, I didn't think the Liberals would take her back. Look, it's hard to survive off $80,000, which is the average wage down there in Tasmania, Peter. Things are only getting dearer. So I'm assuming she's gone from $220,000 on a federal parliamentarian's wage. You're going to find it hard to get a job down there that pays anywhere alike. So my guess is this is all about the money. The confected outrage, I saw her comments in the newspaper today, I just thought were exactly that, confected. And she's just looking for a cushy job back on those leather benches, but this time in the Tasmanian Parliament.
Relevance deprivation syndrome as well as the cash, I suspect. Let's go to housing, because the Federal Housing Minister, Claire O'Neill's promised to slash red tape to kickstart home building, reverse, she says, a decade of collapse in the construction industry's productivity. James, help me here, because I've had a good look at this policy. I've dug into it. If the taxpayers are going to fund 100,000 new homes, these are for low-income people, working people, or first home buyers, how do these people pay for them? Are we, the taxpayer, going to get our money back? Or, you know, are they going to be sold at market rates? Are we giving them an interest rate loan here? I'm not talking about housing commission homes here. I'm talking about homes for people who are working. I've never seen the taxpayer involved in this way. How's it supposed to work?
Well, let's just deal with the red tape first. Claire O'Neill, as little as 3 months ago, in a question at Estimates, it was revealed had never asked her department for ideas on how to cut red tape. So for her to suddenly talk about cutting red tape, that's just a press release. The same estimates also showed that the Department of Treasury and the Department of Infrastructure had brought in 1,500 new regulations that impact across the construction and housing sector. So this is the Labor government trying to fix a problem they've caused themselves. But Peter, I'm with you. Labor are throwing billions of dollars at housing, and guess how many houses the federal Labor government have built since they've come to power? Zero. Zip. Absolutely none. And the $10 billion through the Housing Infrastructure Fund is a bit of a boondoggle, but it's a very expensive boondoggle because it actually hasn't built anything yet. And so I don't know where the taxpayers' money is going to end up, but the taxpayers are going to be the ones who are going to bear the bill at the end of this process.
You're not wrong, gents. I'll leave it there, but we'll be talking about housing, I suspect, many times over. Thank you both for your time.